Hi, writers. So last week, as writers, we tried to elaborate on some of the three solid reasons that we already had in our organizers by trying out examples from real life, trying to interview someone who knows a lot about the topic or who's had experience on the topic. And we also tried out researching, asking an expert, and looking for a fact, a research fact online. Okay, now today, writers, we are going to try one last strategy to add evidence to our reasons to help us with elaboration. We are going to try including a personal story, also known as a mini story, that matches what you are talking about. Now, this, my friends, could be the most powerful form of evidence that you use in the idea of connecting with your audience and making them feel what you feel so strongly about. So, a way to try this is to simply start with a sentence starter that sounds like this: a time that shows this is when, and think of a time where you actually experienced something that you were affected by, or you experienced something that involves one of your reasons. Okay, so if one of your topics is to have no homework and your idea is that you want to spend more time with family, was there a time in your own life that you did not get to spend it with family? Tell us about that time. Okay, so Miss Fakori took her idea of my yoga topic, and I thought hard about my reason for relieving stress. And I thought to pick relieve stress because that's something personal. I could experience stress. I could feel really pressured sometimes, or I could feel like I'm burnt out. So it allows me to think of better real life experiences. So here's my mini story. I typed it up already to save time and just show you. So I started with that sentence starter. A time that shows this is when I first moved to Florida. Now, just a little backstory on Miss Fakori. I moved to Florida about 2 years ago now. This is my second year at PBDA, and I moved here not knowing anybody. So that's hard to do. And my family, my parents and my brothers, they're all in New Jersey. So that gives me a lot of that adds on to my stress when I'm moving to a new place. So it's perfect for me to pull from that experience. I didn't know many people and everything was new to me. I remember one day after leaving work and going home, I felt so tense I just cried. I missed my family very much. I decided to do what I love. I heard that there was yoga on the beach for sunset. What a better way to help me feel better. As soon as I arrived, I noticed the bright colors sprinkle the clear sky. I laid out my mat and sat up ready to start. More and more people started to come, and I even was able to make a few friends. Listening to the waves crash along the shore as we had our class was the most soothing experience for me. So, my friends, I just wrote a personal story of a time when I felt that it helped me relieve stress. And notice, I included great description. I described my setting. I described where I was on the beach and how I heard the waves crash and what the sky looked like. So try that, my friends, today as your strategy. And I want to leave you with a tip before you go off as a writer today. When you are writing to convince someone of your opinion, you only put in the best, most convincing evidence. One way to do that is to read each piece of evidence and ask yourself, will this make the audience care? Okay, because remember, you always want to keep your audience in mind. So will this make my audience care? A time when I felt stressed? Yes. And I was upset and yoga helped me? Probably, because everybody can connect to that. All right, my friends. So when you're ready to try, after watching this lesson, you go to your graphic organizers just like you did before last week, how you've been doing it. Find your evidence slide, and this time, okay, you're going to type up your story in the mini story. Now, I would also read over your evidence and ask yourself, will my audience care about this? And if not, then you need to rework your evidence slide. And my friends, if you have not done this part from last week, please do that today. Okay? The more that you work now and the harder that you work now, the easier the draft will be when you're writing on Thursday. All right, my friends, off you go as writers. I can't wait to see what you do.